my fingers crossed kind of hard right now. I've got the rate limit on this set to its lowest possible method. I've got about a little under 5,000 buckets of coolant in the reactor. But I'm still a bit reluctant to press the button and actually start running this thing. Still, if things go wrong enough, I could always turn it right back off again. Okay. Okay, well, it doesn't look as though things are out of control, per se. It's on. It's running. It's not running very fast. The coolant seems to be stable. Let's see, how's the rest of this going? I'm a little reluctant to step away from the reactor, but it is producing steam. And the steam, I suppose, is going to the turbine. You can't exactly see it from here, so I'll have to check its effects. See if any energy is... Yeah, it's getting in it. I think it is getting an input. I'm wondering if that's actually the reactor, or what about the rest of this? What about... Where's my configurator? Oh, it's... Here it is, here it is. I just want to make sure that... Yeah, it's generating nuclear waste, so it's doing something. Okay. I'm going to start walking it up again. Okay, you'll notice the coolant in the tank is lower than it was. It's because more of it's being used at once. But as long as too much of it isn't used, as long as this level doesn't fall too low, I suppose I'm fine. I'm going to take it up to here. Okay, yeah, we're down a bit, but let me just... we're down by whatever the heating rate is, I think. Let me check the induction matrix again. Yeah, 16.6 or so thousand per tick. A full millibucket per tick. Now, how much of this can it handle? How high can this heating rate go? Let's try 2 per tick. Okay. Notice the temperature. Actually, no. I forget exactly how high it was. I knew that I could go all the way up to 19.1 per tick as a burn rate, without risking the coolant. And we're making solar neutron activation. I am thinking ahead here. We're going to need a lot of polonium. Never mind the plutonium, I'm only going to need 76 of that. But the polonium is the important thing. It's very important. I'll get up to 5. Yeah, it's down pretty substantially. But it is not too far down, that's the whole thing. Now, sodium, the coolant I'm using, isn't really all that easy to get your hands on. Tell you what, I guess I should leave it at 5. Because that way, I don't know, I'm just a little bit edgy if it were to go below this tick. It's like you're on a trip and you're running low on fuel, but you think you can make the next gas station, but your fuel is running on empty. wrong, but I'm not exactly sure whose. So yeah, you can see the turbine going. I've arranged it such that I can route it from the thermoelectric boiler as opposed to the fusion generator. I've got the thermoelectric boiler going too. I don't think you can see its effects. I'm always edgy when I leave this. Let me see, where's a good place to get a view of the thing? Here, yeah. That gray building, you can see it's got like steam in it, sort of. Maybe if you squint, I don't know. Well. So just to recapitulate this, I'm putting out, I'm burning 5 millibuckets a tick. The coolant is being heated at about 1,000 buckets a tick. That I suppose is how much is flowing in the system. And at this juncture, what I need now is, I need polonium. I'm always going to need polonium, I think. But I need plutonium too, and plutonium can be manufactured at night, while polonium is manufactured in the daytime. I always get nervous when I leave this behind. We're getting a fair amount of energy, a little under 150,000. Alright. Polonium is going to become something of a staple later on. But it isn't now. So, I suppose I ought to... I don't know much about Create, but I do know that I had to use it in order to get prismarine, or crystalline prismarine. So let's see. I built the water wheel. That is like one way of getting water. And I built a fan. But there are other ways of getting power too. And one of them is, you know, it's interesting. I never thought thought wool, just plain wool, would be a valid item for a sail. What we're building is a windmill here. And that's one of the ways you can get power in Create. Create runs purely off of physical power, well, mechanical power. It's called, well, there's a genre of fiction that uses it. It's called clock punk, because everything runs in clockwork. Now, yes, Mekanism and mods like it are much more sophisticated in their technology. But the way this pack seems to work is it has you blend mods together. I'm almost positive, anyway, that that prismarine crystals were originally made by processing prismarine shards. Sorry if I'm mother henning this reactor a little too much, but to be honest, if this thing goes, so does this entire complex, and by logical extension, so does this entire playthrough. When you think about it. Okay. So I'm making andesite alloy. Andesite alloy is, well, it's a staple. I had to sort of leap into this a little to make the prismarine crystals. But now I suppose I ought to get into it properly. Shafts. They make, I guess you could say, move, or they conduct rotational power. And the way the manual for Create works is you ponder things. This is a demonstration of how the shafts work. This long thingy is a shaft here. Casings, they are part of machinery, as you saw with the fan. Now there's gears, or as they're referred to here, cogwheels. Cogwheel, I think, is it's an old, rather antique term for gears. We call them gears here, anyway. At least now. But if you read an old enough book or something, you'll likely hear them referred to as cogwheels. I'm gonna grab some wood, some logs. Because Create is basically wood and andesite. It's made out of wood and andesite. Andesite. However you say it. So we've got big cogwheels. And we've got little cogwheels. And I imagine the old laws of physics work in this mod. If you turn a big cogwheel at 1 RPM and connect a little cogwheel to it, the little cogwheel will turn at well, I think in this case it's 2 RPM. It's all about ratios with gears. Now these brackets, I've never seen brackets before. But I guess if you make a shaft long enough, you're going to need, well, they're decorative. Apparently they're decorative, but they look good. Now, I never really concerned myself with that too much. But then again, I never did any of this stuff on the air, did I? Really should stop worrying about a reactor, should I? I don't know, should I stop worrying about the reactor? I fear if I stop worrying about the reactor, the reactor will go super critical on me, and then... I'm a real paranoid weirdo, aren't I? Okay, so we have wooden brackets and metal brackets. I don't know whether I ought to use brackets. Maybe I'll do it just for the sake of clearing off some space. But the rewards in Create don't seem to take up nearly as much space as they do. Ooh, what's this? Super glue. You can glue blocks together into moving contraptions. I'm guessing that if you want to attach something to a gear, you can use the super glue. Ah, I think I'm beginning to understand now. I suppose the real question is, am I going to use this stuff? Well, to be honest, I have no idea, but then again, I never thought I was going to use Create itself. Anyway, back to that windmill. It seems to need a slab, some stone. Maybe I can get away with using granite. Make some more andesite alloy. It's a staple here. And I should have some leftover slabs of some kind. Come to think of it, I'm pretty sure the recipe for cogwheels is different than it was. It's easier than it used to be. So how does this windmill work here? You attach a windmill bearing, and then, yeah, I think I understand here. This is going by the, we've moved on to plutonium production. And how much... Yeah, the solar neutron activator is empty. The last thing I want is for polonium, the polonium I have to decay. If it does, it'll be that much more fissile fuel that I have to burn. So anyway, back to the windmill. A radial chassis. Okay, that's what you connect to the windmill in order to... and then you put the sails on the chassis. You can make it sticky with supposedly super glue or slime, maybe? Well, I don't know. Anyway, these radial chassis, they apparently come in threes. Then the sails. You know, it's interesting. They seem to... I don't know why they accept wool. Like plain wool. But these white sails, they seem to require less wool than the wool. Oh, and you can also use industrial hemp tough fabric, but that's another mod. So I need 32 of these. That's 16 blocks of andesite alloy and 16 blocks of wool. How much wool do I have? And where do I get wool if I don't have it? Actually, the answer to that second one's clear. It's from sheep, obviously. I could, I suppose, make it out of string. I do have enough string for that, but I don't want to waste the string. Do I really not have a pair of shears? It's where I keep crafting these shears and then just laying them somewhere. Do I have any wool anywhere else? Doesn't look like it. Okay, never mind. I'll just go on shearing sheep until I got 16 wool. But before I do that, I want to take a nap. Now, if I were a sheep, where would I hide? There don't seem to be any in the area. I'm looking at a at the heads-up display. And I don't see any sheep. And the sheep in the Twilight Forest, if I'm willing to take a hike to another dimension, and I don't know, it seems a little much, but maybe I ought to just bite the bullet and use the string. Alright, so, this build is just to get more string, but getting more string isn't all that, or at least shouldn't be all that hard. Should it? Yeah, you can make it out of industrial hemp fibers or flax, and I saw some flax around here. I don't think I have any on me, though. So that's the windmill. And as a reward, I got a mechanical belt. Actually, I got a bunch of mechanical belts. But those are made by, oh, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to open this thing. Anyway, those are made by, processing kelp. Oh, did I? I forget what key it is to get the recipe to something. Anyway, let's find a place to put the windmill. It doesn't have any skeletons nearby. Let's see. Should put it on here. How about over here on the roof of this place? Yeah, I made the roof very accessible, and at the time I figured that climbing around on the roof was going to be useful in some way, but I wasn't sure how. But now I know. Now, how do I guarantee that the radial chassis will face forward? Oh, I didn't mean to put it there. No, I meant to put it back this way. And the windmill bearing goes here. Oh, but if the windmill bearing goes there, then I won't be able to... Okay, no. There, much better. So the windmill bearing faces forward, and then... These traders, they don't seem to have much in the way of sense, do they? Okay, here we go. Now, when I'm finished doing this, you know, I might as well use the... How many radial chassis did that thing take? Ask for. Doesn't say. I think it was just 2, though. Now, I think this is based on how much actual surface area there is on this thing. Let me see. How high up am I? 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks. Wait a minute. Let me see. If I were to attach the sails like that. Okay, that helps. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 that way. But then how would I how to get it go the other way?